Yep. Yep. Them nursing homes finna not take Medicaid, so y'all better get them rooms ready for Mima and Papa. Yeah, combine them kids' room. Combine, get rid of the den, man cave, whatever y'all got, scoot it over, cause Mima and Papa is coming to the crib.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy, city boy.
All right, this is nursing homes are removing Medicaid residents. So I don't know if there's any validity to that. Maybe I should ask Chat GPT. That's probably a good question for it, huh? I don't know. Someone's trying to call me, so I just hit block on yo ass because it's always some bullshit. Anyways, is it true that nursing homes are removing Medicaid residents currently? Question mark. Now, this is because there's a bunch of things changing with the Trump admin. I believe they're slashing what is it, certain things from the food stamp program. Now there's context to it because essentially there's just rules to get it right. Like if you're able to work and stuff, like I don't believe these things. Like if you're disabled and can't work, they're not cutting that. But it's like for people who are taking advantage of the system, they're trying to, uh, basically trim the fat, is what they call it. Key insights on Medicaid and nursing homes. Legal protections exist. Nursing homes cannot evict someone just because they're on Medicaid. Medicaid recipients are protected under federal law. Financial pressures mounting. Proposed federal Medicaid budget cuts could severely impact nursing homes, which often operate on slim margins. Reduced reimbursements could push facilities to limit their Medicaid census. Okay. Possible ripple effect for residents. If Medicaid funding is significantly reduced, there could be an indirect consequence, such as fewer available beds. So there might be more validity to this than some of the other TikToks we've watched, but they still create great conversations. Now, again, it seems like the government is currently trying to trim the fat from people who are abusing the system. This is what they're trying to do. But sometimes when you try to do this and it's a big system, some people who deserve it or need it might be collateral damage, right? So I'm just speaking from an open term. This, like, people act like there's no collateral damage. There's collateral damage in everything, from budget cuts to immigration. There's always someone who gets caught in the strays. So how many people is that? Because it seems like people get concerned about these things when it affects them personally. I'm here to have the conversation for, just everyone in general. Because, when it comes to, I can't really talk about that, can I? Anyways, in 2020, there was a medication that they said everyone should take so that, they could mitigate 2020 from happening. And then when a lot of people took that medication, it didn't do what it said it did. But anyways, the people who got caught in the crossfire were the people who didn't do it, because at that time these things were being mandated, and if you didn't do it, then you could lose your job, you could lose a bunch of stuff. So at that time they were the collateral damage. Now we're flipping the script, and now other people could become collateral damage, in the sense of, again, there is people abusing these systems. I literally told you guys lived experience. My roommate used to buy food stamps from a crackhead, right? Like the crackhead sell you $200, $250 worth of food stamps for $100, whatever the case may be. The system gets abused all the time. The government's trying to cut that. Now we can get into it because I have a different take than I think the average on all of this stuff going on. It's just my personal take, what I honestly think. But y'all, let me know. Let's cut into this and let me know if any of these cuts are affecting you. I'd like to hear it in the comments.
Yep. Yep. Them nursing homes finna not take Medicaid, so y'all better get them rooms ready for Mima and Papa. Yeah, combine them kids' room. Combine, get rid of the den, man cave, whatever y'all got, scoot it over, cause Mima and Papa is coming to the crib.
I keep it real. I wish my dad would live with me. If I'm just keeping it a buck, as I've gotten older and I'm raising my kids, like, I think it'd be awesome for them to see their grandpa every day.
I don't want to hear
I don't mind caring for him. You know what I'm saying? But he's still able bodied. He lives in my childhood home and he just kicks it. I go see him on the weekends when I can. I personally would love it for my dad to live in our crib. I'm cool with that. I'll make him comfortable. I would love to see him every day because I know that that time is limited. So I just think it's interesting how she's positioning this. Me personally, I'm just speaking for me. I love for my pops to move back in, like live with me. I'm cool with it.
No, no, this is not what I voted for. Yes, this is absolutely what you voted for. Okay? No, I don't want to hear any of that. Me, mom, and papa will be at the crib in 30 to 45 days. All right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where we are. And listen, before you get in my comments with that red, blue, left, right, I don't want to hear none of that, bro. You can put that Trump hat and that shirt on your Mimo and Papa, but they coming to the crib. You can best believe that. If your in-laws use Medicaid, a lot of these services are going to not accept Medicaid. So yeah, make room.
I mean, a lot. This is. I think a lot of what she's saying is cap. I think people who are covered by Medicaid and actually need Medicaid are going to stay covered. I think they're turning this into like we're all supposed to be scared and always in fear and like keep everything polarized and divided. I think they're taking action again on trying to trim the fat on people who are abusing the system. But dun, da, 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 this is the tricky part. This is where I throw the curveball. This is where I throw the curveball because I personally believe you should cut off the people that are taking advantage of the system. F that. I believe that. You know, people are just, is tax funded, the average citizen funding this, right? But what I'm going to say here kind of throws a curveball. It kind of almost throws that out the window. When you start going into these bills and seeing what we're funding in other countries, I'm like, dude, just let people be on Medicaid. Who gives a fuck? I'd rather Americans take advantage of the system than us pay other countries. There, I said it. I rather American citizens be able to take advantage of the system and get a little extra bread, even though it doesn't benefit me and I pay into that system. I rather Americans get it than other countries, whether it's via war, via help, doing all this other, because now it's like when America goes out and starts trying to make these trade agreements, people are like, oh, you're isolationist. You guys want to be alone. No one really talks about how much funding America does for all these other places. I just think it's interesting. And I just like, yo, if you really want to be an isolationist, not that I'm saying we should be or I want to, I'm just saying if we really were, we'd stop giving bread to all these MFers. We'd focus on our deficit and making the dollar stronger. And, we would cut stuff for American citizens last before we cut all the other bullshit that we just tricking off money, just giving billions of dollars to all these other places. That's just how I see it. Now, do I know the economical effect? Like, do I know like, oh, us supporting this country actually benefits us this through the back door because we made these weapons and arms or we did this? I really don't know that. So this could be the absolute dumbest, foolish statement on the planet. It could be. It's possible. But I just think it is interesting. Remember when Tupac said it? Tupac said it as simple. They got money for wars but can't feed the poor. It's just funny, man. Like, and I'm not like on some socialist nonsense either. Like, I work very hard. I will always work hard. I plan on working at some capacity until the day I die. I will be working on something, especially because a lot of the things I do is creative. So it's not as taxing on the body. Like, do I think I'm going to be doing manual labor in my 80s? No. But I would like to be doing something creative at some capacity, helping the world. With that being said, it does, these budgets are crazy. The budgets in America are crazy. And, even though I'm not like on some socialist or communist stuff, like I don't believe in that stuff. I do believe social programs at some capacity are needed and welcomed and very helping for people who need to get out of the mud. And I know people who've been affected positively by social programs and got out and are doing well and are a, solid citizen, paying their taxes, all this good stuff. So I'm not against social programs. Um, I'm just telling y'all how I see it. I'm like, I don't get it. And y'all could let me know. But if we got all this money for all this outside, and a lot of the times I'll look into it slightly, I'm like, I don't see the benefit. So maybe y'all can tap in and give me some examples in the comments. But that's my take. That's my take. I know people are taking advantage of the system. I've seen it firsthand. I don't like it. I'm tax paying into it. But I personally prefer my money going into American citizens. I'm being very specific and detailed when I say that. American citizens. Period. That's my stance on it. That's where I stay with it. So we'll see. A lot of this talk, is chatter. We're in a very divisive time too. Everything's like getting blown out of proportion. Things are getting magnified and generalized and polarized and synthesized, whatever. I watch it, I walk it, I talk it, see what y'all think, and just keep my finger on the pulse, keep it moving. We'll see if what this lady's talking about is coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, some people might get cut. I mean, that's not cool. Like elderly people, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they gonna go, dog? Like, that's crazy. That's wild work, But if there's a time where they start kicking elderly people in the street and they got to leave these homes, I will talk about it for sure. Right now, I don't believe what she's saying is going to go down the way she's saying it, but it's possible. And if it does, hey, let's get it. Anyways, let me know what I got, what I missed. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll holla.
City boy, city boy.